Today we're going to be designing this t-shirt in Cricut Design Space. This is going to be a step-by-step guide going into Cricut Design Space to the Cricut vinyl cutter all the way to the heat press. If you're a beginner and you're looking for some software to design with, especially if you have a Cricut vinyl cutter, Cricut Design Space is perfect and it's free. Everything used in this video is going to be linked down below in the description, and for this project we're going to be using puff print heat transfer vinyl. We're almost at 20k subscribers, so if you've already subscribed, shout outs to you, and if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe. And if you have any questions throughout this video, make sure you guys meet me in the comment section. Let's get right into it. I'll meet you at the computer. All right guys, so this is the picture that we are going to be turning into an SVG file. This is the picture that I took. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and go to cutecutter.com. There's plenty other websites to turn pictures into SVG files, but for some reason this one has just been my favorite. What they offer currently is, catering to me, but there's no wrong website to use, whatever works for you. But we are going to be turning the photo into an SVG file, so we're going to just go ahead and drag this up here. Oops, all right, there we go. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and do remove background. Now the first thing that we're going to get hit with is mark foreground. Basically this is just for you to mark where you want to keep the design. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just give it like a rough sketch to go off of. Honestly, even this will work. Then we're going to go right here and do mark background. And then it pretty much does it for you from here, and you can get as detailed as you want. You can zoom in, change the brush size, do whatever you got to do. Let's see. Boom. All right, now we're going to hit done. Now for the background color, I like to pick white. Just because it gives me that transparent look I'm looking for. Now these four right here, you just mess with them as much as you want until you find what works for you. Honestly, if you just mess with it for a couple minutes, you'll eventually get the hang of it. But let's say this is what we ended up liking. Let's do something like this. We're going to go ahead and hit download and then download SVG. So I already got one that I liked. It's the same picture. I just had already done it and I saved it. It's going to be right here. It's going to end up in your downloads folder. So we're going to go ahead and go into Cricut Design Space. And now we're going to hit upload. And you see I imported it earlier already, but I'm going to do it again for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and hit upload. Then we're going to go right here to downloads where it's saved. And then we're going to go, boom. That's it. Hit upload. There it is right there. Click it. Add to canvas. All right. Cool. So next, go ahead and delete this bottom layer. So all you're left with is this layer. Now what I'm going to do next is go and hit shapes. And I'm going to add a square, because what I'm going to do is I actually want, here, I'll show you. I kind of want, this. This is what I want right here. So this is what we're going to do. So you see how this square is on top of this. So it's not under. So this is what it would look like under, right? It's on top of it, so bring to front. This is how you delete stuff in Cricut Design Space. I'm sure they're going to release an easier way to delete stuff. I don't know why there isn't an eraser here. Maybe there is, I'm just not seeing it or something. But this is how I've been erasing stuff. So you put the box over what you want erased. We're going to highlight, combine, subtract. And boom, that's what we're left with. All right, and then I'm probably going to take that little piece out. So let's go ahead and do a square again. Unlock it. Yeah, I just want to remove that little piece right there. Actually, let's bring it closer. Boom, there we go. Now we can highlight it, combine, subtract. Boom, that's good enough for me. All right, cool. Now I want to add some text on the top and on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and hit text. I'm going to type out the recipe. You can do whatever it is that you want. Also, I did measure this already. So before you come into Cricut Design Space and you start doing all this stuff, make sure you have already your dimensions down, like grabbing a measuring tape and putting it on the shirt and deciding exactly where you want it, because it's just really important. Trying to size everything after is really annoying. So for this, I already know this was going to be 11.5 inches. Cool. So now I can edit with this, and it's already sized for my t-shirt. So keep that in mind, guys. All right. So for this one, we're going to use Old London. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the color. Cool. Now we're going to hit unlock so we can switch it up however we want. The width of this is going to be 19 inches. So let's go ahead and add some curve to this. All right, cool. I like that. Cool. All right. Now let's add text again. And we're going to put worldwide. Same thing. Add red. This is going to be 19 as well. And on this part, you guys, it could be whatever you guys want. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Obviously, feel free to copy mine exactly how it is. By all means, go for it. But let's go ahead and go to the next step. Just making sure I like how this is. All right, perfect. Now I'm gonna add some elements. If you watched my previous videos, you'll see that I got these little elements from Etsy. I highly recommend you go check it out. It's just easy to spend a couple bucks and get all these little elements you could drag in. So we're going to go ahead and add to Canvas because I had already uploaded this into my Cricut. All right. All right, so now we have this in here. Oops. I'm gonna put one right here. And then we're gonna duplicate that. And then I'm gonna put another one right there. Yeah, I like that. Cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some offset to this layer, this layer, this layer, and this layer. That's going to make it so that way it just has that nice effect of it having two colors. I'm really addicted to doing that, especially when working with heat transfer vinyl, because I really don't like being plain with heat transfer vinyl and doing like those simple designs, one color. It's a big reason on why a lot of people like to follow my page, because we're just, you know, breaking barriers and doing, you know, things we've never seen before with heat transfer vinyl, and we're just experimenting and stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and add some offset, and this can be whatever you guys want. The number, I'm gonna probably make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that works. Let's add some offset to this. Cool, let's add some offset to this. But we're gonna make this red. Let's add some offset to this. Gotta make that red as well. All right, cool. Now, what we have to do now is, these next couple of steps might get confusing, but what we're going to do now is, I don't like stacking my vinyl on top of each other too often. I think it lasts longer when it can touch the garment. So what I like to do is just make sure that I combine and subtract all the layers, so that way it goes through. And I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. So I'm going to go right here to the worldwide. I'm going to duplicate worldwide. You'll see why. We're going to highlight these two, hit combine, and then subtract. So now when I peel the vinyl, I'm peeling this too, and then I'm going to be able to put this layer right on top. So that way it's not stacking on top of each other. You know what I mean? So that's super dope. I like doing that a lot. I recommend you guys do that. But we're going to go ahead and do that to both of these layers. But if you see right here, hold on, let's duplicate this one. Let's turn off this layer. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer again. So now, because I want you to see what I'm going to do. So this is already 11.5 inches. This is 20 inches. I can't combine these together because this is going to have to get cut separately. I hope that makes sense, because this is not going to fit with this on the mat, you know, but I don't want to stack this area and this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these two, combine, subtract, right? So you see what it did right there, cut those pieces off. And then we're going to go ahead and just put this back. And then we're going to actually, remember that layer that we turned off? I turned it on, but it's behind this. So we're going to go ahead and bring the front. We're going to highlight these two, combine, subtract, and then boom, there we go. So now you see what I did there? But it looks like it's connected, you know what I mean? But it's really not. We did that because it's a bigger design and our mat will not allow us to keep it together. So now we're gonna go right here and we're gonna do the same thing we did with these two, but right here. So let's go ahead and duplicate that 2 times. One for here, one for here. Combine those two, subtract. Combine these two, subtract. Boom. And then boom. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can line it up when we're pressing. So I'm going to go ahead, add text. And this, honestly, I keep seeing everybody use members only on their clothing brands, which is cool. I like it. But I just want mine to be a little bit different. So we're going to put gang only. And, you know, this could be whatever you guys want. This doesn't have to be, you know, you guys put whatever you guys want. If you're not feeling what I put here, no worries. This is just like, just for being creative. Let's see. Boom. All right, cool. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit make it. We're gonna do on matte, and then we're gonna go ahead and make sure we mirror all of the designs. And honestly, what I'll probably go do is I'll probably group these up a little bit better. If you guys want to know how to do that, just go look at my other videos. I've done it every other video, but I am going to group these so that they stay on less mats than 6. It'll probably consolidate to like 4 mats. But I will go ahead and do that and meet you guys at the Cricut Explorer Air 2. Alright, so for this project, we're using a Cricut Explorer Air 2. You can use any of the Cricut vinyl cutters. They all work perfectly fine. And then for the needle pressure for puff print heat transfer vinyl, I went ahead and put Iron On Plus, but Iron On works just as fine too. Now make sure you're being careful when you're peeling your vinyl because we're using a lot of vinyl for this project, and the last thing you want to do is mess up your product. So for puff print heat transfer vinyl, I set my heat press to 290 degrees. Make sure you pre-press your garment for 15 seconds to get any moisture out. So to make sure we don't overcook the vinyl, I'm going to press each section for only 3 to 4 seconds each time, especially in the areas where we're going to be applying 2 colors. Projects like this require a lot of technique, and if you don't follow my directions, you can easily mess up your t-shirt. And if you mess it up at this point, you're going to be really upset because of how much work you put in already. So please make sure you're taking your time and you're following all of my instructions, even if you have to rewatch this video more than once. I also want to recommend you guys invest into high quality puff print heat transfer vinyl for these types of projects, because if not, you run a high risk of the puff not coming out correctly and the vinyl could potentially fall off, especially if you're using a cheap brand. And also remember, if you have any questions up to this point, let me know in the comment section or go hit me up on any of my social media and I'll respond as quick as I can. I want to make sure I'm there for you guys to make sure that you guys are successful with all of your projects. I know it can get a little confusing, but I promise you, you got this. And there you go, guys. If you made it to the end of this video, just know that I'm super proud of you. And if you guys use any of the designs that I've created for your own design, please tag me in your posts. I really want to see what you guys have been working with. I want to see what I inspired, and I just want to overall network with you guys. Remember, if you found value in this video, make sure you hit that subscribe. I upload videos every week to help you grow your clothing brand with the Cricut vinyl cutter and a heat press. Let me know if you guys really like this t-shirt, and also let me know what kind of tutorials you guys want to see in the next video. I'll see you guys.